All right, first section, we're looking at integers and rationals. Have to review a little BEDMAS here. So BEDMAS, whoops, not D, it's BEDMAS with B, B-E-D-M-A-S. So number one, if there's brackets, do them first. Be careful with order brackets and multiplication brackets. Depends how they're used. Okay, for example, here's multiplication brackets. Okay. Then you want to do exponents. Then you want to do divide and multiply, and then the last but not least, add, subtract. Remember, these guys are left to right, and so are these. Okay. So in this section, we did a little bit of BEDMAS work, and then we also looked at order of operations with fractions. That's what rationals are. And we also looked at Pythagoras. Okay. So lesson number one, evaluate. Question like this, oh yeah, you can punch into your calculator, but I'm going to get you to correct your signs. So you need to fix this and this. Go. Rewrite down below. And the corrected signs are +7, -5. Now go ahead and do your work, and again it's left to right. So 6 minus 3 is 3. 3 plus 7 is 10. 10 minus 5 is 5 is your final answer. Okay, so do an order left to right. And I probably should repeat this and make the -5. So we have 3 lines of work, nice and easy. Okay, don't get caught skipping and scrimping and then you make mistakes. You're going to find on the review quizzes a lot of your errors and mistakes were you going too fast and not paying attention. Okay, watch the details. Next one, with our fraction line, it actually is like having big brackets around the top and the bottom. What that means is you have to figure out an answer on the top and then divide it by an answer on the bottom. Okay, sometimes we might even just leave it as that, which is a fraction. So doing our BEDMAS here, let's rewrite it. We can do this multiplication, and we can actually do that multiplication and this subtraction. Go ahead, try this one. Go. So -8 times 6 is -48. Divide by 12 minus -12. Okay. On the bottom, we have -6 minus 5 times -2. Okay. Then our next line of work, I'll go to the right. -4 plus 12 all over -6 minus 5 plus 10. So here I multiplied these two negatives together to get a positive. On the top I will get 8. On the bottom I will get 4. Final answer 2. Okay. How many people got 2 as a final answer? Couple. Okay. Lots of places to make mistakes. You got to be careful. Got to watch your signs. Sometimes it's helpful to put brackets around your negatives so you don't confuse your signs as one long, super huge negative sign. Okay. Any questions? Next one, reduce to lowest terms. So I'm not going to get you to reduce because I know you can use your calculator. I'm going to say, what number would you use? All right? So you got to think a little bit. And the number is 4. Not high enough. 8. Nope, won't work. Actually, 4 is high enough. Divide them both by 4, we can get 9 over 8. That would be lowest terms. Now you can always guess and check, right? Don't just be all scared to get a wrong answer. Guess and check. If I saw something that I could reduce more, I could reduce in 2 steps. That's okay. Right as a decimal, that would be a calculator as well. It's 3 divided by 8, top divided by the bottom. Everyone, please try that on their calculator. You need to know how to work your calculator, folks, for some stuff. It's just knowing what to do. Yep. You could go to mixed if you want. So, I mean, as a mixed, then what would that be as a mixed? 1. 1 and 1 over 8. Good. So take out a group of 8. But this is a perfect answer. Okay. Unless I specifically say. Now on a multiple choice, I wouldn't have both of these Both of them are exactly the same. I wouldn't have both. Okay. So on your calculator, yeah, well, it's not a trick question. It's an unfair question. 3 divided by 8, 0.375. Good. Why would you? It ends, right? The decimal stops, so that's perfect. I didn't say to, and you don't need to then. Yep. I have 9 over 8, and then I might have like 1 and 3 over 8, right? And you'll know, oh, that's not right. Okay, but I wouldn't put both of them down. Okay. Next one, make sure you have a common denominator for your fractions. What is your common denominator with 3 and 8?
24.
Good. Change your fractions, put them together, please. So when you change your fractions, multiply this by 8. Multiply this one by 3. And so you get 16 minus 15 up top. I write it this way specifically so you guys remember that you're just subtracting the top numbers. The bottom does not change. Okay. Next one, 1 2/3 divided by 1/2. You must convert this one first of all. You always have to convert that. Okay. And then you have to flip the second part. So it's going to be times 2 over 1. Only flip the second fraction. 1 times 3 is 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. Can you cancel it all? 5 and 1? No. 3 and 2? No, there's no canceling. So up top we get 5 times 2. On the bottom, 3 times 1. 10 over 3. Okay. That's a perfect answer. Nothing wrong with that. Do you guys want to practice converting? Go ahead. What is that as a mixed fraction? 3 and 1/3. Okay. But 10 over 3 is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I know they always used to get you convert just for practice. But higher level math, improper fractions work out. Because we actually have to do this for further work, right? Okay. All right, so then we go on to some harder fractions. We have some mixed numbers in front. Now, one thing to keep in mind, you want to ignore the negative sign when converting. Okay, so this is going to be 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1, 7 over 2, plus negative what? 7 over 4. So I went 1 times 4 is 4. I didn't use my negative sign there, folks. Okay. And now I can simplify this to 14 over 4 minus 7 over 4, which equals 7 over 4. Okay. I screwed that up. What?
Cross multiplying.
I'm not cross multiplying. 14 minus 7.
Oh, yeah. So you multiply the 2 by 2 and the 7 by 2.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Common denominator.
Say that.
Sorry. Times 2, common denominator. We've done fractions like that since like grade, what? I don't know anymore. They changed it. I think they did that in grade 5. I don't know, whatever. Sorry, my mistake. Okay, next one. H. Looking at bed mass, tell me what's the last thing you're going to do?
Subtract.
The minus. Okay, very last thing. So here, can we cancel any numbers out? 2 and 3? 1 and 5? So then we just multiply across. 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 5 is 10. Minus. What about here? 20 and 14? They're both even. Yeah, divide by 2. So we get 10 and up top. 9 and 6? 3. Okay, so we get 2 down below, 3 up top. So then we can multiply across. 3 times 7, 10 times 2, 20. What do we have to get before we subtract? Common denominator. 20, 20. Find your answer. Go. So times it by 2. 6. Now we're going to get a negative answer. What are we going to get? How many people got that as a final answer? That better not be your final answer. Right? Divide them both by 5. Negative 3 over 4. Always reduce. Reduce, reduce, reduce. Just like Abbotsford Waste Disposal. How many of you guys are enjoying that composting? Yeah, I love that. It's you know what? It's absolutely amazing how much you can reduce your garbage by. Like, I was blown away. Oh, totally. It's crazy. Yeah. Question? Yeah, I know. That's what my wife was saying. That's crazy. I can't believe that. Good for you guys. Mission's actually better than Abbotsford. Well, for one thing. Okay. Next. Continuing on. So I just had to say that. Okay, so for these ones, circle those that are perfect squares. So we're kind of changing now a little bit. When we're looking at perfect squares, we're looking at like 1, 4. What's next? 9. 16. What's the next one? 25. Right? This is 1 squared, 2 squared, 3 squared, 4. Oh, that's what he's doing. All right. What's the next perfect square? 36. Next. Next. 64. Okay. Now, do you have those memorized? Maybe, maybe not. You know what? Who cares? Figure them out. Okay? So, first of all, we have to convert this fraction. So, convert it, please. 2 times 9. 18 plus 7, 25. So we have to see if we can square root it. Now, if we square root an entire fraction, that's the same as square rooting the top and square rooting the bottom. So root 25? Yes. Root 9? Yes. So is that a perfect square? Yes, it is. So this here, circle it. It's a perfect. What about root 1/2? Well, can you square root 1? Yeah, it's 1. So this is 1 over root 2. Can't square root 2, so it's not a perfect square. Cross it out. Now, decimals, yeah, you could cheat on your calculator, but let's turn this into a fraction. Okay, so this equals 81 over 100, because it's the hundredths decimal place for the 1. 2 zeros. Square root 81 over square root 100. Yeah, 9 over... No, 25 times 25 is huge. 10 times 10? Yeah, okay. So 10 times 10, yes, this is a perfect square. Okay. Mandy, if you do the next one. Yep, that's right. Tens, hundreds, thousand. Okay, good. So watch your decimal place. Now, square root 4 is easy. What about square root 1,000? No, that's actually 10,000. Okay, so this would be 2 over root 1,000. So it's not a perfect square. Okay, if that was 0.04, it would work, or 0.0004 would work. But because it's an odd number, it's not going to work. Okay. Any questions about that section? Yep. Yeah, get lost. I mean, go. Good luck. Sorry. Okay. Is this a snowball tournament? No? Oh, okay. Well, good luck anyways. Remember, when you catch those rebounds, elbows up. Yeah, catch the ball too. That's the other part. Okay. So, estimate the square root of 70 We have to kind of get... That's right, this is the in-between one. So what's the perfect square below 70 or above it, you know? 64. Now, if you get one of them, you know that's 8. So what's the next highest number up above? 9. And so you can figure that out as 81. So if you know one of them, you can figure out the other, okay? What we have to figure out, are we closer to 8 or closer to 9? So now we compare the roots. Root 70, root 81, how far apart are those numbers? 11 apart. How far apart are these two numbers? 6 apart. So 6 means we're closer to 8. So 8.5 would be the middle, but we're not there. We're closer to 8. What's an estimation? 8.2. That's a little low. 8.3. Okay. I would accept 8.2, 8.3, 8.4. Absolutely not 8.1. Absolutely not 8.5. Okay. 8.3 is a good one. So you can get that wrong, just to let you know. Okay. How do we do this? Perfect square below, above, and whereabouts is it? Okay. Any questions? Okay. Calculators may be used, but you're not going to need them for a while. Pardon me?
Right, 0.6 is a fraction. You don't have it.
Uh-oh. 0.6 is a fraction? Oh. Sorry. Oh, I added that in. So 0.6, what is that as a fraction? Lowest terms? Good. Okay, so you got to be able to reduce it. You got to be able to convert numbers into fractions. Ouch. Okay, calculators may be used. So this one, what do we need with our fractions? Common denominator, and maybe fix those double negatives. So what's your denominator? 2, 5, 10? 10. Okay, convert your fractions, please. Go ahead, complete it. So I believe this is what? 24. Lowest terms? 12 over 5. Okay, good enough for me. Okay, question number 2. Who can tell me what are some things that we have to do? Well, we got to convert this one, and this one we have to flip. Now, before you flip anything, convert first. Luckily, we don't have any converting to do. But this one needs to be converted to an improper. Okay? You can't do any multiplying or dividing if it's improper. So convert this one. And this one will change to a multiplication. Now, your negative sign can stay anywhere. I always like to keep it up top so I don't forget about it. Okay, just a little habit of mine. A good habit for a change. What does 2 1/4 convert to? 9 over 4. Okay. Now before we multiply, what should we look to do? Cancel. Okay. 6 and 9, can you cancel that at all? 2 and 3. Go for it. This is a good... What about negative 8 and 4? Yeah, divide by 4 and get 1 and negative 2. What about 5 and 15, or negative 5 and 15? Yeah? Yeah. Even though they're far apart, you can still cancel those. Don't forget your negative 1, your negative sign. Anything else we can do, folks? Because there's more. Yeah, 3 and 3, and 2 and 2. Because of the negative sign stuff, okay? So, isn't this a pretty simple answer? Yeah. Up top, it's -1 times 1 times -1. On the bottom, 1 times 1 times 1. Wow. So it's +1 over 1, but that's what you want. Okay, +1. Isn't that awesome? I love that. Okay. And you guys thought you needed a calculator, and really you just have to multiply ones. I know, SMRT. Okay. Okay, number 3, bed mass. Now, questions like these with bed mass, you want to put brackets so you change the adding and subtracting. Something needs to be done first. You got to figure it out. Be a detective. It's guess and check, folks. I'll give you 30 seconds. Guess and check. So, if we just put brackets at the beginning, what would we get? Well, 3 plus 5 would be done first. Then we have to go 8 times 4, which is 32. Wow, no way we can get 13 because we're just subtracting 2. So we don't need brackets around the beginning. Try brackets here. What do we get? We'll have to do that first. So 3 plus 5 times 2. Oh, 3 plus 10. That will give us 13. So the answer is just brackets around the 4 minus 2. That makes that become the first thing to be done. That makes that. Great description. Okay. Any questions about that? So you need brackets around your subtraction. Next one. So somewhere we might get you to compare fractions. When you compare fractions, what things do you need? Number 1, you need a common denominator. Good. Or what's the other thing you could do? Convert to decimals. Now, I always encourage fraction skills, so let's get a common denominator for this one. Since they're both fractions, and you got like 10 and 20, that's easy, right? So 13 and over 20, what's the next one become? 4, which one's bigger? Well, 7 over 10. So always go back and circle the original question, folks. Okay, now if we use an inequality sign, the inequality sign would eat the larger number. Okay. This question doesn't require it, but I'd like to talk about that. Any questions so far? You do have a choice. You do have a choice, but sometimes we might force your hand too, right? So you should always practice all your skills. Okay. Number 5, converting fractions to decimals. 2 is your whole number, so it goes in front of your decimal. Then on your calculator, we can go 3 divided by 4. That's 3/4. What's 3/4 is a decimal? Yeah. See, you guys don't need calculators, and you thought you did. So then we just put them together. So 2 3/4 is $2.75. Money sometimes can help us with fractions. Now 3 divided by 11, I use your calculator for that one. Everyone, please. Everyone. Now I go 3 divided by 11, and I get 2727272727. Some people might get this, 0.2727 ... and then 273. What has the calculator done? Rounded. How many people have that? Hands up. 2, yeah, every class there's at least 5. You can turn your calculator off from doing that, but I don't know how to, so good luck with that. But you just got to be smarter than your calculator. How do we write this number without rounding? Nessa? And yeah, so you got to use your repeat bar. So the line over top must be over both digits. Okay, you must be clear about that. Okay, now 6 is just like question number 4, but you got to be careful with your negatives. All right, you got to be careful with your negatives. -1 is greater than -2. Smaller digit, but it's bigger in size. Now, what would you do with 3/4 and 0.8? Yep.
Convert the 3/4 to the decimal.
Yeah, I'd go to decimals here. Since you already have one, go for it. I mean, you could convert it to 8, negative 8 over 10, but you know what? Decimals are fine. You should practice that too. So convert it to a decimal and use your correct sign. Go. Watch your negative signs. Jessica, which one's bigger? Yep, negative 0.75. So your sign should eat that number. Okay? Make sure you got the correct sign down there. Okay, how you guys doing? Good? All right, number lines. With your number lines, I want to talk about ascending. What does ascending mean? Yeah, so the order increases. Oops, not increased, increases. And descending. Good. Order decreases. Good. So if you have some fractions, some decimals, we have trouble placing fractions on the number line. Even I do. So what should I do with my fractions? Decimals. Okay, so convert these to decimals. Now, I'm going to mark some wrong. Like this here is negative 2.5. It should be right in the middle. Here would be negative 2.4. So you got to make sure you're on the right side of the 0.5 line. Okay, so place these in order. Go for it. I'll give you a minute. Okay, so I put C, B, A, and D. And E is 0.3 repeating, so it should go here. So for E, I'm looking to be on the left of 0.5. That's what I would check to mark where you put your line. For D, it's got to be really close to 2. Okay, B should be in the middle. A should be slightly to the left. Okay, and C should be slightly to the left. Any questions how to do that? Okay. So once you get your decimals, way easier. Watch for your negative signs and whereabouts they should be put. Next, Pythagoras. Across from 90 degrees, what do we call that side? Hypotenuse. And for a formula, that would be C. A and B don't matter which is which. We call those legs. The key point is that your hypotenuse is your largest side. Okay. So if you're trying to find the largest, what would you do? Add your squares. Okay. But if you're trying to find a leg, it doesn't matter whether it's A or B, then you would subtract. Okay. So always keep in mind your hypotenuse is your largest. Go ahead, practice Pythagoras. You have 2 questions with the 2 different examples. Now in grade 10, we leave our answers as square root 389, and we actually simplify that. We won't go to our decimals. But for you guys, you go to your decimals. Okay. So here we're trying to find the hypotenuse. Always indicate which one's the hypotenuse right away. The second example, you already know your hypotenuse. So don't add. You'd make something bigger than it. So we would subtract. Okay, so it's going to be 17 squared minus 10 squared. Kind of skipped a line of work there, but hopefully you can figure it out. Oops. 13.7. Hands up if you got both answers. All right, awesome. Okay, word problems. We like to do word problems with fractions. When you're trying to think of a fraction of, that means it's a multiplication. Okay. So the cake has 32 equal pieces. Audrey ate 1/16. Friends ate 1/3. Brothers ate 1/3 of the remaining pieces. Go for it, step by step. How much did Audrey eat? 32 times 1/16. You can cancel first. Divide them both by 16. You get what? 1 and 6, 2. So you get 2. So Audrey ate, past tense, 2 pieces. Okay. Figure out the school friends. 3/4 times 16, or 32 times 3/4. Cancel first, so you don't need your calculator. Okay, so friends ate 20. First of all, let's figure out what's remaining. Okay, so Audrey had to go at the cake, friends had to go, and there's left over. How much was left over? So 32 pieces at the start, minus 2 is 30, minus 24 equals 6 pieces left over. So they eat 1/3 of that. Go for it. Brothers ate 2 pieces. What you need to do, number 1 is for your homework, you have 2 sections from your outline. Your outline says to do the integers and rationals. Okay, you'll find the answer key at the end of that section, but you want to look up online for the answer key. Okay, I've posted it online. So the updated answer key is online. Then number 2 will be the worksheet and exponents. And you want to try the odd. Now some of you will be like, I don't remember this at all. Then skip that question. Or try it. Skip it, try it. Okay? We're going to review that on Monday, but you need a head start so that you're ready to learn on Monday. Let's have a look right now at the at this section. Okay, so what I want you to do is cross this word off, write the numbers in descending order. Okay, and for the answers at the back, cross off 2.5 at the beginning. And then the answer key will match up. So this question's ordered weird. So tell you what, ignore that. Figure out the answer key at the back. Good luck. Okay, just cross off 2.5 and it works. So, no, I said worksheet integers odds. This is not the worksheet yet. So you're going to do this homework. Get to the answers. And here's the answers, okay? So I'll tell you which ones are wrong right now. If you go to the answer section, cross off this, okay? And I believe this one is wrong, okay? So just those 2 I know for sure. Then you're going to have to go online and get the new answer key, okay? Any questions? Sorry about the confusion for the answers. It was a mistake of mine. I shouldn't have done that, but I thought it was updated because I labeled it updated. Obviously, what's that sports expression? Yeah, I want to say it. Didn't do what I was supposed to. Okay. All right. Any questions you guys have? Okay. What I want then is I want page 160. That was your review and the review worksheet. Now, on the review worksheet, keep in mind, there's probably about, if you have 3 or 4 questions you didn't get done, that's okay. There's 3 or 4 really hard ones on there. Okay, like the trust one, that one is really hard. There's that one triangle with 90 degrees, you have X and 4 and 9. That one's challenging too. Make sure your name is on it. Put it on the desk. You have 2 minutes to find it, locate it, hand it in. After that, it's late because you didn't get it done. Here's a stapler. No discussing either. So, yeah, right over there. Just stick on that desk. 2 piles, please, Rebecca. Thank you. You can if you want. Doesn't matter to me. I'm not going to check that first. Oh, put the stapler by the piles, please. Yep.
For C,
Mm-hmm.
we have to get a common denominator and then compare them.
Where's it say? I can't see. Yeah, I get common denominator. Now, if you multiply the bottoms together, you'll always get a common denominator.
So I have to cross multiply.
Yeah. That always works. Sometimes it's not the easiest way, but it always does.
Can we listen to music while we work?
Yeah. Yes, go. Okay, boys, let's get to work, Carmen. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of homework.